Okay, so first of all, I'd just like to know why did you decide to get the coaching session? Oh, I can't hear you if you're talking.
Oh no, I just sat back down. How's your
Oh,
day
okay.
going?
It's going good. It's going good. I was asking, like, why did you decide to get the coaching session?
You know what? So I've been playing League about 4 years, 4 or 5 years. Not on and off, but I just switched to jungle this season. I felt like I needed something that I can control the game more. I used to play mid a lot. I would play like assassins, Kiana, LeBlanc, and I can get a lot of kills and I could snowball. Problem was I can't win the games. There was something wrong with the way I'm playing. Uh, you know, Dealing with big top laners, fed bot lanes. It was kind of frustrating. So I switched jungle, hoping I can get a little bit more success.
Did it
And
improve?
you know what? So I was a gold mid laner. As soon as I picked up jungle, I actually picked up Nidalee. I like the playstyle, and I lost a lot of games in the beginning. I went all the way back down to bronze. Then as soon as I learned her, I came back all the way up to gold, and I'm still stuck. I'm about gold 2. I'm trying to get into plat,
Mm-hmm.
emerald, even as high as diamond. So I could play. So my playstyle with Nidalee very aggressive. I can get a lot of kills. Problem is I can't close out games. If the game goes past
Yeah,
25 minutes, which is
that's a
very
Nidalee
common.
problem, honestly. Like, Nidalee is just not a very well scaling champion.
Yeah, I
So,
know. And you know what? Some parts of her she does scale pretty well. If you hit a long spear, you could blow up a bot
of
lane.
course.
But obviously, when it comes to her early game compared to her late game, she's not very good. So I'm trying to move. I was looking at Ekko a little bit, and I saw some of your videos, and I feel like he could help me out a little bit. So I've been trying him out, but lately I feel like he just doesn't have an existing early game. It's very hard for me to
No,
win early
yes.
games with him
No, he's
compared
good.
to a
He's
Nidalee.
fine. Yeah, okay. Like, Nidalee is just like one of the strongest early game junglers, but I think a very common misconception with people that are like newer to Ekko or like not very good with Ekko in general is just that he has like a horrible early game, which is just not the case. Like he can do stuff in the early, like after level 3 is a very viable champ that can fight. So it's like don't even have this kind of mindset in your head. Like, you might have heard from other people that said like Echo is a super weak early champ, but that's really not the case. Like, yes, of course his late game is definitely much stronger, his mid game is also better, but his early game, you can easily have like, let's say, 3 kill participations before 10 minutes. Like, I have that on most of my accounts, with Echo. So it's
Okay.
not like you can't do anything with him in the early game. It's really not the
Okay.
case. I
Yeah,
guess
I tried to get in.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, I was just gonna ask, like, because of course, most of the questions are not gonna be Echo specific for now because you haven't really played a lot of him. But I guess as a jungler, like, what do you feel like is your biggest weakness? What have you noticed?
Biggest weakness, something that I've been trying to change. Obviously, in the elo I'm in, there's a lot of feeding. So I was trying to adjust typical jungle pathing to try and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna meet this. I'm gonna meet the Jarvan bot lane and try to win because obviously my bot lane gets ganked and a lot of times they're getting killed and the enemy bot lane becomes 10 and 0. So I'm trying to like counter that. Um, but that's my weaknesses. I'm not there at the right times to try and snowball a lane or get myself ahead. Um,
Hmm.
I would say I wanna work on something like that.
Okay, but what's the weakness that you find? You feel like you just don't have the correct timings?
Yeah, I feel like I'm not reading what the enemy is trying to do, so I can prevent it. My teammates are always dying, and the enemy team is becoming fed. I want to try to stop that as
Hmm.
best as possible. I know it's a little bit out of my control, but I
Yeah, it
thought
is.
jungle could help me do that instead of I was playing mid and sure I can get a lot of kills, but I wasn't able to stop the feeding.
Let me tell you, like, the big, there's also another like kind of misconception. I feel like oftentimes, especially Echo is so good at collecting shutdowns. So just focus on yourself, like, fully focus on yourself, and like, also you said like you need to kind of predict what enemies are doing. Like, most of the time you really don't need to predict anything. You just need to look at the minimap. You just really, because that's something I've noticed in like basically every single coaching session I've ever done, is people just don't look at the minimap enough. They just don't get enough info, and I'm sure it's gonna be the same with you. So it's like, if you have all the info you need, like there's very little things you need to actually predict. Like of course in actual high elo there is stuff you need to predict, but in your elo, just stick to your own game plan. Have one playstyle that you're like comfortable with. I guess like you could probably full clear every single game and reach diamond with it. Just like and like not even go for any ganks. You know, of course that's not the optimal way to play jungle, but it's just the truth. You know, there's so much value in just having a playstyle that you're comfortable with and knowing your limits with it. Then it's much better than trying to be super like reactive to what the enemy is doing and whatever. Like that's so much more difficult, and it's really not at all needed to reach diamond or anything like that. Really not at all. So yeah, you said already your goal is like what? Like realistically, from like right now you're silver 1 or whatever your gold. I assume your MMR is not too incredibly good for climbing.
No, it was good. It was good. I was getting 26 LP per win. I went all the way up to gold 2, and then I started swapping around different champs and lanes and stuff, and I went back down. So now it's very bad.
Yeah,
My
no, I
wins are
just
about
saw.
15.
It's
My wins are
insane.
about 15, yeah, and so I gotta have a very high win rate to get back up to
Yeah.
fix the MMR. I don't know how that stuff works, but
I mean, it really depends on how much you care about elo. If you actually care a lot about elo and not just about improving, then maybe even make a new account is a thing I can tell
no,
you.
I don't care. I'm not concerned about the elo. I want you
Okay.
to just help me improve.
That's good. Okay, that's a good mindset in
Really.
general, for sure.
Right.
Okay, I guess we can look at your OPGG. Of course, there's not going to be too much to look at since you haven't played many games, but just like some general item building stuff that we can talk about is in there for sure. Let me tell me when you can see
Yeah, I'm watching.
my screen. Okay. So, but you're interested in Ekko Jungle, right? Because you also played some Ekko mid here.
Yeah, I was just playing mid just so I can get the feel of the champ, how he skirmishes.
Yeah, in mid it's just much more difficult, honestly, because there is like, if you don't know, if you're not very good at Ekko mid, you just can get punished really hard in lane already, and then the game just feels much different than it would normally feel with Ekko if you're just even, you know. So, and that's like the main reason why Ekko Jungle is just... I wouldn't even say better, because most really high elo Ekkos are actually Ekko mid players, but it's just much easier, you know, and much less... You just need to be a really, really good Ekko player to make him work in high elo, let's say. In mid lane, at least. I guess rune setup-wise, I can definitely recommend... Like, this rune setup is fine, this patch, I would say. But...
You know what? I like Electrocute a lot more.
yeah, but even Electrocute, both of them are getting nerfed next patch, you know? Like, really, really hard. So, next patch, I'm already preparing... Let me show you the rune setup that I've been running. And it's actually been working really well. Like, I've liked it a lot. Just first strike with this secondary, with the domination secondary. I've liked this one a lot. It's felt very nice. It hasn't felt too weak early. I always thought that it would feel too weak early, but it really doesn't. Like it's completely fine. I get basically as many early kills as I would otherwise. And then in the mid game, first strike is really nice at helping you to like snowball your leads, you know, because you get so much gold from the procs as well. So then you just become really, really unfair because you complete items even faster. And as I said, like, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off.
No, it's no problem. Yeah, I guess. Okay, but let me just finish 1 second. Like, just like the main reason I guess why you really should just get into the habit of playing with this is just, as I said, for the next patch, because when they're basically removing the AP scaling from Dark Harvest and Electrocute, they're putting it down to like 0.05 instead of like the 20% basically. And they're basically not compensating it at all. Like they just put some more base damage. But yeah, a really nice thing about Electrocute was the AP scaling. So yeah, just get used to playing with First Strike already is definitely something I can recommend. And also, the Dark Harvest is actually like probably the most difficult rune to make work. Honestly, like it's probably the rune where you need to be the most comfortable on Ekko with compared to the other ones. So yeah, what were you about to say?
Oh no, I saw that you used the boots, not getting the boots until 10 minutes. Do you feel like this specific champ, because he's a little bit slow early, does he need boots earlier or no?
No. Well, if you have First Strike, you know, if you have First Strike, you will get them from like, or you had the same thing here, right? You have the magical footwear, so you can't even really buy them, right? But yeah, usually you should be prioritizing rocket belts. Some games you can definitely. If you have weird gold, you can definitely get the Sorks, but usually that won't be the case with magical footwear. So yeah, like Rocket Belt, just understand that Rocket Belt is a really big power spike for Ekko.
Okay, so
The,
focus all my gold, get the first item. Don't worry about boots or
well, not don't worry about boots. The Sorks are definitely good. That's another thing like I wanted to say. Yes, in this game the steel caps have like if there's ever a game where you want to build them, this is probably one of them because they actually have a lot of auto attacker champs. So they do make more sense than they ever would in other games, but generally, like, you always want Sorks. I used to go Mercs as well, but I think even Mercs you shouldn't take. If you need the tenacity, you should just take it in the secondary rooms. Like, let me show you how. For example, today I played one game. This one here, right? I took, you can see I took precision here because enemies just had a ton of CC, so I felt like the game would probably be unplayable without it. So in those games, you can just switch it out, the secondary rooms, and you don't really feel weaker with that, to be honest. So like this is very, very fine as well. Some people also like to take this rune instead of the Triumph, but I think I like Triumph more. So
you take
just
the
like
tenacity with the merc treads, and that helps you.
no, I just don't even take the Merc Crest anymore. That's the point, right?
Okay.
I take these runes so that I can always go Sorks, you know?
Okay.
And like technically you could go Green Smite as well, but I've been going Blue Smite every time at the moment. It has felt also very good again. Like, I don't know, I've been switching that up every now and then throughout the season, but I think Blue Smite is overall just the one that gives you the most tempo as a jungler. So it has a lot of value. And on Ekko it feels very good. It just helps you a lot in being able to join team fights and stuff. So yeah, I guess that's the main things about item building, whatever that I wanted to talk about. And also I think, for example, when it comes to Lichben and Nashers, just pick whichever one you like more. Like, pick which item you like more to play with and then learn your limits with it. Both are really good. Like, I love playing with Lichben right now. So you can see I am basically building it every game except for this one because, well, it's different, right? Like, I have, of course, I also have some, like, a lot of Ekko games, so I know when I feel like it will be better, but, like, you can see most of my games I'm building Lichben because I just like it more, but then there's also other really good Ekko players that just build, like, Nashers every game. So just understand that both items are really viable. So he's building Nashers every game. And it's just a playstyle preference. Like, for me, the reason I like Lichben more is because I think it suits the Ekko playstyle more perfectly, because with this Lichben playstyle, you really only play with your cooldowns. You don't need to really auto attack the enemies to have it be worthwhile, and that's why you can just not take a lot of damage and be like very hard to kill in those fights. But with the Nashers, you can see like I have 3 average deaths. Let's see how many average deaths he has. He has like 4.5. So it's just you will automatically die a bit more because you will just have to stay in the fight more and auto attack more to even have the Nashers be worthwhile. But both, as I said, both items are really good, really viable. And I guess, of course, this is not really too useful to look at right now because you've only played 7 games. Just one thing that's definitely noticeable is just you're too passive, right? You obviously don't know your limits with Ekko yet, which makes sense after 7 games, 100%, like no flame or anything. It's just, I guess, the best way, the reason I even wanted to show you this, just to tell you, I think the best way to learn is just to play as aggressive as possible, you know?
Right.
Like, really play as aggressive as possible. Yes, you will probably but even, especially since you told me you don't even care about elos, I think
No.
it's gonna be perfect for you to just, like, play super aggressive, understand that, like, Ekko is a champ where you can probably punish so much more than you're aware of, so, yeah. The way...
I did, sorry, when I was learning Italy, right, I lost a ton of games because I didn't know what she could do. And then I found out, oh, wow, she has a lot of damage. Her quick combos you can one-shot any squishy target. Yeah, so I had to experiment a lot, and I was afraid to fight in the beginning. I didn't know who I could beat, and then after I found out, oh, you could pretty much beat anybody if you play it correctly. Then I started to, yeah. So I just got to experiment a lot more with Ekko.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, like, after 7 games, those are, like, genuinely your, like, first 7 games, or I guess you played a bunch of normals, which are not counted, but you tried out the Ghost Ekko tech. Damn. Okay,
Yeah,
but these are
like I was a very slow champ to
really,
try to
like,
block my passive. I couldn't catch
interesting.
anybody.
Okay, yeah, it's probably. Yeah, I want to, like, this session, I want to do a little bit differently. I definitely want to take a look at one of your replays first, and then we'll see if we go into a live game, right? Because I think that makes much more sense, so I can just see where you're at right now. And also, I feel like I would just overwhelm you if I let you play and then be like their life. You know, I just want to see what you've done so far, and then also it's gonna be much easier to explain from the replay. I think this game that you played here seems to be one that should be good to look at because you lost it, but you had decent stats.
Right.
Let's see your damage here. Actually, I'm curious. Okay. Yeah, definitely, like, in a game like this, you should probably have a bit more damage. It's not the easiest game to play, to be fair. Akali counters Ekko really hard.
Yeah, I felt like I could not.
Oh.
I could kill everybody else on their team. I could not deal with the Akali. She got really strong, and I was.
Yeah.
was having
Nah.
trouble with them.
You'll have to accept that this champion is just disgusting because she has a really high base MR, and then oftentimes they even take...
And look at her mythic too. I couldn't
Yeah,
read
that's
this.
weird.
was
Dust
like-
plate. Yeah, but most of the time they also take the resolve tree in their secondary, so they're really just too tanky. Yeah, this guy didn't even do it, so yeah, we'll see. But I'm sure you could have carried this game 100%. We'll just see where the breakpoints were, I guess. Okay, let me go in there. So have you just been full clearing?
I saw one of your videos. I did the 3 camp. Start with Raptors. I want Raptors, Gromp, Red, and I
Okay.
base, grab a Dark Seal, and then I run to the Scuttle, and then I continue clearing that.
Yeah, I've actually kind of stopped doing that.
Oh,
Because, I don't know, what I've noticed is, like, on one of my accounts it said that my average level 6 is like 1.5 minutes later than of my jungle opponent, which is definitely not good. So, and I feel like the cause of that is doing the Raptors path every game, you know? It just, I don't know. So I've just started full clearing. It just makes the game much more simple, and I don't know. Especially with the first strike. With first strike, I feel like you just like to take the 100% place anyways. So I mean, so you don't really need that extra early power is what I wanted to say here. So yeah, I think placing ward down is always fine as long as you don't get punished for it. Definitely need to be a little bit cautious here, right? Like the Pantheon or whatever could be covering here, and then if you're really unlucky, you just walk into them. It's not like it's gonna happen most of the time.
Yeah, no, I see. I know what you're saying. Sometimes it does happen, and I gotta ignore the flash. But yeah, sometimes especially with Master Yi, I always find him on my red and stuff, and I wanted to just see where he started. So.
Yeah. Okay. So as I said, I think generally you should, or I don't even know if you should, but I have went back to just full clearing, starting at red, doing Crux, red, and then yeah, and then you start W anyways. But still, generally for hitting the Raptors here, just stand further back. You will see in a second. You just don't hit 2 of them. And Ekko's Q, the way it works, we can't really see now, but you know it opens up after like a certain, after it's been out for, you can see, right? Like right now it will fly here, and then it will open up around here. So like these ones you will hit. So just stand further back next time, and then it will already hit all of them, and it's just gonna be better for applying the passive, of course. It's just like this is kind of small stuff, but it's gonna matter in the long run, I guess.
Okay, for my clear speed, I noticed he has a very slow clear speed.
Not really. I mean, he's fine. He doesn't have insane clear speed early, but like after items, he definitely has really good clear speed. So, and the early, like, it's fine. Yeah, like you're probably just used to having higher clear speed with Nidalee, but I feel like not even Nidalee is that much faster. Like she's a bit faster, but also this is really not the stuff you need to be worrying about in your elo. Like really not at all. Like these 3 to 5 seconds or whatever that the clear speed difference is not important at all to like the, let's say, 40-50 seconds that you're probably gonna waste by making bad decisions, you know? Here, I mean, technically with this wave state, you could for sure be looking top, but since it's a Kayle, and Kayle is really not a champion, and this guy's playing with Ignite, and you're kinda low, I guess just recalling here is probably the correct play.
Yeah, I
But
do that too.
Yeah, okay.
I quit ganking Kayle lanes pre-6. It's very they don't do much, or they don't help me out much.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem in like really low elo that people sometimes just don't react. But I guess another thing that I've realized over the last couple of months, especially, is just like people are really bad at communicating in lower elos. So just like ping, you know, especially as a jungler, you said you want to have the control. Like you want to be more control, and that's exactly your job as a jungler. You know, you have the control, but you also need to be the shot caller at the same time. You need to. Okay, it's good. You tell, I guess, that you're kind of on your way. I mean, this is not really the important stuff you need to ping. But like just in general, communicating with your team is definitely important. Here is for sure a timing where you could be looking bot. Of course, this is warded, but you don't really know. Okay, so you are actually looking bot. It's good.
Yeah, I saw their wave pushing in, so I figured.
Why were you so slow at the crap? I'm confused. Why was it already spawning? Normally you have time, like after basing, you normally have time to do this, and then the crab would just be spawning. Yeah, how much gold did you have?
Even after getting the Dark Seal, you could still run and do camps before you get the crab?
Yeah. Like usually you can do Grump, Blue, and then the crab will already spawn for like 2 seconds or something. I guess you just were. I guess because of this, right? Because you had to run back from the small croc here. It was a little bit annoying. But yeah, like again, this is not really the big stuff, especially because in this situation, for example, you can see the crab is not contested and look like I don't even know what the fuck your jungle opponent is doing. He's doing some weird clearing where he's like doing red, blue, Grump, level 3. This is the kind of jungling that is just, if you just full clear here, you already won, you know? Literally, if
why he only has 3 camps.
Yeah, because he's an idiot, you know, and it's like because he just does. He's clueless and he doesn't know what to do. So if you like, literally, if you had just full cleared here, you would have already basically won the jungle matchup. Especially if this guy doesn't get anything now, which it doesn't look like he should be. Yeah, this ward is like not even a common ward. It's actually kind of unlucky that you're being spotted here. Yeah. Also, don't W. Like, don't W the camp. Because if you want to fight here, you would much rather have the W for fighting than for the camp that doesn't even attack you, you know?
Okay.
So in general, like, just keep your W for fighting. It's the same with, like, when you're doing Drakes or, like, Nash or something especially, right? And if it could be contested, you want to for sure have the W up. As another like, general jungling thing for efficiency, start at the blue next time. Do blue first, then do Grump, then do Wolves. And the reason for that is you want to do the Grump and Wolves, you want to sequence them as close as possible together, you know? Because now if you're doing this, you will be doing the blue, it will take you like 20-25 seconds in the early game. So that means the Wolves, on the next time they spawn, they will be spawning like 25 seconds later, you know?
Right,
so
okay. I was thinking because they spawn every 2:15 to get them out of the way quick and they can come back quicker.
Exactly, but that's not what you're probably going to be doing here, right? You're going to be doing the blue now, and then see, like, it's gonna just take you some time until you even get there to the camp that you want to be making respawn quicker. So it doesn't matter, like, either you do it, let's say you're coming out of base, you can do Wolves, Grump, Blue, and like, since you're coming from the crappy, you just do Blue, Grump, Wolves, you know? That's like the main thing. Okay, and this guy was literally just camping around here. Okay, interesting. Of course, you don't have any vision here, but if you had any info on this guy being here, literally just go here right away. I'm curious to how this plays out, though. Okay, let's see what you should be doing here. Like, should you be going bot? Probably. I mean, if you have info on this camp being done. Okay, I mean, now you have info, kind of, right? Because we saw him coming from here. So if you see that on the minimap, you can assume that he just took your camp. He wouldn't be coming from here if he didn't just take... we even see it from the Nafiri, technically. If you actually look there.
I think I ran mid and got a kill, I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100%.
Oh, yeah, it seems like you got a kill on the timeline. Yeah. Yeah, but you had to flash, and it's always worth flashing for a kill. Take this camp, yeah, that's good. I guess let's just look if you... Generally, of course, all of this stuff can be a little bit smoother mechanics-wise, but again, you played 7 games, so this is like 100% like acceptable, I guess, that you are doing everything like this.
Right, I don't have any Ekko mechanics. I was hoping you could spend some time and show me some.
100%, yeah, that's definitely something I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna say, like... Nah, but like, everything like this is fine, honestly.
I didn't know
there's...
W. I wouldn't have flashed, but that was a weird spot.
Yeah, that was like a weird decision by him, honestly. If you just had kept walking, you definitely have to flash to reach him. Or do you actually... Let me see, like, maybe with EQ... Yeah, probably not even. Yeah, yeah, probably you don't even need to flash there. Never mind. Just like play with your cooldowns here, you know.
Okay.
You're gonna reach him with EQ in a second. And that's like the main thing you could be doing here. I don't know, like you know that you can cast your Q while you're Eing forward, right?
Yeah, EQ. I saw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because for example, in a situation like this where you're chasing, of course your Q slows, right? So you definitely want to be able to slow him there. And yeah, you didn't have to flash here, even if you had kept walking. You had gotten your EW up basically, EQ I mean, so you could have just EQ'd him.
Okay.
So in general, it's still worth to it's worth to flash for kills, but of course, if you can keep it, you always want to keep it. It's a 5-minute cooldown. Yeah, definitely good.
I think it was first blood. I'm not sure if the Navari died before. But...
Yeah, I think it was first blood. So yeah, it's definitely not bad. Like you're not unhappy about this. You're just, of course, if you can keep the flash, as I said, you want to keep it. How much gold do you have here? Okay. By the way, if you have first strike, you should always go in debt. You know. Like here, for example, you could spend like you could go into like minus and then buy the amp tome. And then you lose 50 gold for it, but with first strike it's worth because you usually get the gold back from the rune, you know.
Okay.
So yeah,
Wait,
right now.
I don't have first.
No, I'm just saying for the future when you're playing with first strike.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's definitely a time where you should just be looking top. Okay, seems like never mind. Yeah, I mean, okay, he died. He died, so this is fine. What you could actually be doing here is push this out, but the Kayla's TP, so you don't really need to. Yeah, so, I mean, she's missing most of this anyways, and you wouldn't be there. So, yeah, it's just unfortunate. Right now, like, I don't even know when this is coming up. This should be coming up somewhat soon, but of course the Yi invaded it. So, yeah, I mean, going here, was it the right play? I don't know. Okay, what you're doing now is definitely... okay, you're looking to fight here. Moment, didn't see on the minimap. Yeah, that's good. W was really good. And like already it's really good that you're even placing your W, you know, because a lot of people in your elo that like the average Ekko main that I coach in your elo, a big problem they have is that they just don't use their W for some reason. Because I guess they're afraid of missing it or something, but you as a new Ekko player, you're basically like a blank canvas, so it's really good that like you don't have any of these bad habits formed, and like always place your W, right? And exactly like this. Yes, you didn't get a stun, but you got the shield. So, did you even get a stun? Yeah, you even got the stun on the Nafiri, so... No, not... Man, like on the fucking Akali, I mean. But, like, you just...
This Akali with low health if she's 6?
No, you can't. You can see, like... It's just... You just don't have it. Yeah, Akali is a champ, like, you literally beat her if you're more than 1 item ahead. Like, not even... Like, 1 item ahead is usually not even enough. Which is really sad. Like, Akali should be a matchup, theme-wise, I feel like it should be a matchup where skill should matter, but it really doesn't matter. Like, she just wins. Definitely, in the future, go through the crab first here. 100%. See, like, the way you need to think about the jungle in general is just, like, it's 12 camps, you know? Overall. And then, like, 2 extra camps, the crabs. So the most valuable camps to get are obviously the enemy camps. You know, they're the ones that you're most of the time you're not really able to just go into the enemy jungle and get it. So if you can get them, perfect. They're like the most valuable ones. And the second most valuable, let's call it tier of jungle camps, are the crabs. You know, they're neutral and only one of the junglers can get them. So you just want to get them if you can. And of course here the Yi just died. We saw that the crab just spawned. Like before you were fighting here. It just spawned. We saw it would spawn. So if you kill the Yi here, you know that it's gonna be up, you know? So it should be your next target here. It should just be your priority. And then you just go back to your jungle. And like the reason your own jungle camps are, of course, worth the least are just because they're generally guaranteed, you know? Like unless the enemy is invading you, they are pretty guaranteed. So you can always just fall back to them. So yeah, like let's see. Do you even get it at all here? Nah, see, like, you even go base. You just let 100 gold sit on the base, on the map for no reason. And also, your base could have just been better, you know? Like, yeah, this base is fine. It's actually... No, I think this base is good. Also, the timing is actually good, but it's still just take the crap before, you know? Also, it might even have given you level 6 here, I'm not sure. Probably not, but you're, like... There's just no reason not to take it. It's as simple as that, honestly. And you should just be prioritizing them, because... as I said, it's a
Does it
camp
give
that
you,
only one jungler can get.
Does it give XP or just the 100 gold?
No, it gives XP as well. It's just the very first crab spawn, right? On the first crab spawns on both sides, right? And they're like smaller, and they give only like 20% XP, but they still give the same gold. And after that, all the crabs, they give like basically as much XP as any other camp.
Okay.
So yeah, here again, you should be starting at red. The clear. Actually, what you could be doing here is for sure like do red and then probably look top. And if you can kill top, you just do Herald afterwards. That would be quite a good sequence of play here. Like really big thing you need to worry about here is just getting level 6. You know, because
Yeah.
Ekko ult is such a good spell. You really want to have that. It allows you to play so much more aggressive, and then also that like it will help you. Of course, having the red buff here as well will just help you on your gank. You know. And this is 100% gankable on top here. The way he's playing, you have like vision as well. So like the way this guy's overextending, just do the red buff really quick and then go top. I don't even know what you're doing here exactly.
I was gonna go do the rift. Quick question for Pantheon. Without my 6, he can one-shot me though. With a
Nah,
6.
no way.
No? Okay.
Nah. If you have your, that's why you have your W, you know, because the shield, it's another extra 300 HP. So like basically 30%. So that's why you just need to use it, you know. There's no champ that just one-shots you unless you're Omega Fat, if you use your W especially. And of course, like, yes, if you tank absolutely everything, then he might be able to kill you here. But first of all, not in a one-shot manner. And then also just like, as I said, that's why Ekko, you need to just play him with this cooldown. You play with your passive procs, you know. You go in, you proc your passive, you kite away a little bit most of the time, unless you need to auto-attack to kill. And then you just go in with your next rotation of spells. You know, in the early game, it's like 9 seconds. In the late game, your spells are down to like 5-second cooldown with ability haste. So it's really not a long time, you know. You just go in and out of the fight. And if you play correctly, you really don't take too much damage. So yeah, doing the Herald here is not good, you know. Look, mid lane is pushed in. Top lane is pushed in. Also, like, both of those lanes are losing as well, right? Like, quite hard as well. And you're not even level 6 here. So doing this Herald, do you even get it? Doesn't look like you get it on the minimap. You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like fine, because oftentimes you can get Herald completely for free, but it's still not a good timing. Well, this guy just took it away from you.
Yeah, he took the second one too, and it
Okay.
tilted me because I know Kale is not gonna ever get the Pantheon's tower.
Yeah. Nah, that should be tilted. I mean, it shouldn't be tilting a bit, because tilting doesn't help, but it's definitely not right for her to take it. So, yeah. And then the same thing here applies here on red side, where just do red buff first and then do Crux and Raptors so they spawn with as minimal delay in between each other, you know?
Okay.
And especially here because, like, yeah, like that you're already next to it as well. So yeah, at this point, just look for full clear, get your rocket belt as quickly as possible. You're kind of close to it here. You have 2 kills, so you're not doing too badly here anyways. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I guess this guy's a free kill if he's walking into you like this. Oh, definitely don't need to flash there, you still had the movement speed. And then also another thing is just like, you could have placed your W. Like, yeah, it wasn't up yet, but after you jump over and you're on top of him here, you could have just placed your W in his path, and then you also... Right now, just place it somewhere here.
When I cast W, will it stop me where I can't chase him? Or does it just... does it have an animation?
Yeah, but it's like a very short animation. Like, in this situation, it definitely won't make you miss out on the kill. Like, definitely not. But you didn't even have to place a W. You could have literally just kept walking. Like, you still had movement speed for another... Like, look. It's still, like, over half the duration, so it's like another... It's already up to 2.5 seconds, so it's like another 1.25 seconds of just having a ton of movement speed here, so you would have just... Could have just kept... See, like, you're basically already in range. You were just a little bit impatient here. Maybe could have ulted back there, actually. To hit. But that's definitely, like, more... I guess, like, being good with ulting aggressively is definitely more advanced Ekko stuff, I would say.
Okay.
Like, here you can see right there, the clone...
Did it, later in this game, I remember ulting aggressively, and I threw the game twice.
Oh.
I thought my ult, because it was like a 4-person ult, I thought it would impact the game, but my team ended up dying too.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. As I said, yeah, it's definitely like it can be game changing, of course, if it's a really good ult, but you definitely need to have a good plan. Like generally, a good plan for when you're, especially in the late game, when you want to ult back, is just place your W where your ult clone is, throw your Q back, maybe E even before, so you have the empowered auto attack when you come out, and then ult back. You know, that's like the best way to ult back most of the time.
You can get a kill and probably get your passive up and run or something.
Exactly. The important thing is always to just proc the passive. Well, actually, really unfortunate that you weren't able to proc your passive here on the Samira. Just reset. Ah, no, you did. Never mind. Wait, how did it? Yeah, I mean, yeah. As I said, I think there was like a very short time window to ult back, but even I probably wouldn't have taken that in game. So, yeah, it's whatever.
Let's say there's two enemies. If I proc passive on the first one, do I have to still wait for the second one, or does it? It doesn't have any cooldown on another target.
No, it's per target the cooldown.
Per target. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a 5-second cooldown per target, and you want to proc. Generally, you want to proc it on as many people as possible because first of all, it's your biggest damage spell, and then of course also you want to play with your movement speed as much as possible. You know, and you want, and of course, if you're not able to fully one-shot people, which you most of the time aren't, you also want the cooldown to even start so you can proc it another time. You know, that's like a really big thing why proccing the passive on Ekko is such a priority. And then here you definitely need to base. Like, you really need to spend your gold. I mean, I guess you can maybe punish this guy, because he took a really bad timing, but in general, what you want to do right now is just base.
You can let him do the drag, get out of there, go get my gold, or go spend my gold.
You're lagging a little bit. What did you say?
Oh, I'm saying, even if he's doing the dragon, you want I should go spend my gold and then come back.
No. Because he like normally, let's say a good player probably wouldn't do Drake here, you know. So I'm just saying the general timing and like because you just have a ton of gold here and you're in a really good position to snowball this game. But of course you're only actually strong if you have spent your gold here. So just like the general priority at this moment, I'm sure you know this, right? Like the general thing should be to just spend your gold. Of course, since this guy is taking like a really bad timing where his bot lane just died or had to recall, and then like mid lane is shoved in so your mid can move and whatever. It's just like really bad by the Yi. So then, of course, if people make mistakes like that, punish them. It will get you ahead even further. I'm just saying that the general thing you should be worrying about right now is just taking a good base and then snowballing the game even harder. But yeah, this is good. Definitely like just punishing this. And then now you also get the Drake, so this is fine, but now you definitely need to recoil, I'm sure that's what you do. Unless they, of course, keep fighting here and lose. Okay, you do recall. Yeah, if you had Futures Market here, you could have bought the boots as well, which would have been really nice.
Okay.
Like the Rocket Belt plus boots there, then you're feeling really strong. I mean, yeah, there's also other really strong targets, of course, you're right. You're doing quite well, but all the enemies are also doing quite well. So for sure need to just... You need to make a plan, like who's your target here? Let's say Akali is technically a big target because of the shutdown, of course. But Akali is Akali and she's kind of difficult to kill and you don't have great CC either for her. So I think the easiest way to like just snowball this game in your favor is actually by killing the Samira. So just like pathing bot here and then killing her. When did the crab spawn? Should you have went there right away? I mean, okay, this crab has been here for a long time. It's understandable that you don't have the awareness that it's up, but yeah, technically you probably should have ran to the crab first.
Okay.
On red side it's a bit more annoying, honestly, than on blue side, because you need to go over the wall. On blue side you just go in the river and then go back. But yeah. And then also, if you're here, oftentimes you might just be able to... You might just see an opportunity, you know, like let's say top, for example. Where you can just gank and then you go back to jungling, because getting kills and like getting kills in lanes is of course always worth more than jungling if you can actually get them. Just like a big skill of jungling is understanding when you actually can get them, of course, and like especially like.
I wasn't sure, like a level 10 Pantheon.
Yeah, I'm also not sure here. Probably not. He's like full HP, so he's not super overextended or anything. It's definitely the more consistent play to just clear here. For sure need to be looking mid now. Okay, that's what you're doing. Yeah, and I guess in these situations, it's never a bad idea to just check for the crab as well.
Is there
That's
a way I
good.
can one-shot the E quicker? Even
Uh,
using the W?
I guess the best way to fight Yi is to use your ult when, or your W or your ult when he's queuing you. Or like, now the W you need to place it a little bit earlier. And then he might come out and get stunned, you know? But like, now, like this, there's not much you can do. Like, there's nothing you can do to make him not take minus 90% damage, you know? I guess the important thing is to not proc your passive into that, right? Like, you don't want to proc your passive into... Yeah, that's whatever, but like, you really don't want to proc your passive into damage reductions. Like, there's a bunch of damage reduction, like Belveth, for example, her E, then like Briar, the new champ, right, her E gives her damage reduction. Just make sure not to proc your passive into those kind of spells. Definitely should have checked the crab here, of course, and then also look top, right, like maybe def this tower as well. Because you can't really achieve anything on bot anyways with the Thresh roaming mid. So yeah, I think the better play would have for sure been to just do crap here, clear the top wave, maybe even kill him, because you're actually really strong here, you know? Like, you can definitely do stuff. Yeah, you just ulted, and you are only level 8, he's level 11. So in that sense, you definitely need to be careful, but if he's under the tower, he will have to run first anyways, you know? He won't be able to just one-shot you. So oftentimes, like, I get so many kills like this, where people just push the tower, you just come in from here, when you're like coming from out of base. Of course, in your case, you probably would have just ran through here. You just place a W at max range, E over. If you can, you clear the minion wave and stun them at the same time. That's like the perfect scenarios, that you clear the wave fully so they get tower aggro, and you stun them. And then you can even kill targets that are stronger than you, of course. But even just like this guy's kind of low. I mean, you're not weak here. Maybe you could have killed him. I'm not sure. But yeah, like, another thing is, of course, just getting the crap. And then this is a bit of a low percentage play. Let's see if you get anything. Yeah, see, like, these are the kind of plays where you're just wasting quite a bit of time. And not just you're not just wasting time. Like, let's say, like, every step you took that wasn't towards here or here is just kind of wasted if you go bot right away, because you need to know, like, first, if they play like this, you need to assume that this is warded, right? In no way they would ever play aggressive like this and not have this warded, so you probably just won't kill them if you run at them like this. They will have time to react, and they're also much stronger here, right? So just in these situations, don't even waste your time on that, right? Of course, yeah, that's the skill of jungling, really understanding this kind of stuff. But of course, you have played some jungle. I'm sure you understand that most of the time the river is warded, you know? So, if anything, I think you should be coming from back here.
You can hug that wall by the dragon pit, and you can skip those wards in the bush, right?
Which one? This?
If you walk along the dragon wall, you could skip that ward, or will it...
No, you can never. No, you can see it's like this. It's always until here. So, no. The only vision you can skip is... that's another good thing in general for ganking mid. Like, most of the time, the laners will warden these brushes, right? So if you just hug this wall, like this wall you can hug, walk around here, hug it, same thing on the other side, you will dodge any vision that's in this brush. So for ganking mid, you should basically never walk through here, unless the enemy is massively overextended. You should generally just walk in from behind. And then you're also already behind the enemy, you can place an SW, they will walk back or whatever. But yeah, like, now for this, like, if you actually really want to force a bot gank here, which you actually shouldn't for many reasons. Like, you also don't have ult, you know? And the Samira is really strong here. They have everything up. So you don't really want to fight at this point, because you will probably lose, even with 3v2. It's very possible that you just lose a 3v2.
Yeah, she's gonna proc ult and kill everybody. I've seen that 1,000 times.
Exactly, and especially in this game, like, everything is on you right now, you know? You have the shutdown, everyone else on the enemy team has a shutdown, nobody on your team is doing particularly well, so you just need to be very cautious in these kind of games and basically only play with your ult, you know? Like, don't take too many risks. So here, I think 100% the correct thing to do is just clear your jungle. So yeah, we can see, right? Like, 13:30 is basically where you started wasting time. Like, now it's just like 20 seconds wasted, even before a little bit, because you didn't decide to go here right away. So, like, these are like the 30 seconds you just randomly wasted. So that's just to make a point here, right? Like, that's why you shouldn't really care about the 5 seconds you might be wasting on your first clear, or like being a little bit inefficient with jungling. Of course, that's something you will have to worry about at some point, but it's like there's more important stuff to worry about at the moment for sure. So yeah, I think now definitely a good time to recall, because you want to contest Herald here if you can. And you can also buy the boots, let's see. Yeah, you buy boots. I guess you could have waited for the Aether Wisp as well. Like, it's 415, the upgrade from Amplifying Tome to Aether Wisp. You almost had that. So, yeah. Like, let's see, how long would you have to wait? Yeah, so if you have to wait 10 gold, it's really nothing. I would say you can wait up to like 10 to 15 gold. It always depends on if you need to be somewhere. Of course, here you kind of want to be at the Herald if you can. But yeah, I don't even know if you can contest at this point. Your top already lost her tower, so it's definitely a bit rough. I think generally looking to kill this guy is not a bad idea, but yeah, just be more aggressive with it. Like, see, like just walk from down here. Just walk like. Just place your W and walk from down here and try to get a stun. This is never gonna work because, see, if you walk here and you come from this brush, you're so far away, you know. You could be so much closer already. You could be here, just eating over the wall and then being in range already. Like, let's see how this works out.
I think my thought process was he's gonna go try to kill the Kale, but yeah. And she walked out of the bush.
Oh, then you're even more hard commit here. Why did this guy ult you? Okay. You flashed. Yeah, I mean, it's worth getting the kill, but it could have just been better, you know? Like, you could have gotten the kill.
Work against a better player.
And that as well, probably. Like, yeah, this guy, I mean, probably could have just kept running.
I'm not sure why I got ulted, but she did it.
Yeah, like, this guy is just an idiot for running back into you. You could have just kept running and you would have been out and nothing would have happened. But yeah, like, okay, let's see, like, everything that went wrong here. First of all, as I said already, next time, just use vision, you know? Like, use the fact that he won't see you. Place your W, probably place it even a little bit further behind. You know, like, your plan here was to go on him because you thought that he might engage the Kale, but that's such a low percentage play, you know?
I thought he would keep pushing the lane. I was actually going to sit in that bush. I thought he would push the lane, and then my Kale...
Okay, but he shouldn't be pushing the lane here, so that's like a kind of a bad assumption to make, you know? Like, yeah, it's an assumption you might make because you're playing in silver or like in gold and you've been playing in here for some time and people do this kind of stuff, but he shouldn't keep pushing super aggressively here unless he's like covered by the Yi, you know? So, he will die at some point if he just keeps pushing here. I mean, he did even die in the end, even though he didn't even really keep pushing, but no matter what, like, you just had, like, you don't even need to rely on that in this situation is the point I'm trying to make, you know? You really don't need to rely at all on the point that, on the fact that he could be pushing, because you could just be walking up until here, place your W somewhere here, and then get him, you know, no matter whatever he does. And then also...
I'm gonna do that next time. It's a much better plan.
Okay, so here... Of course, you missed Q, which is definitely a little bit unfortunate, because the slow would have for sure helped here. But, okay... and now you flashed, so you hit the return Q. Just understand that the return Q doesn't slow, right? So, yeah, it's good to apply... It deals more damage because it has a... See, like, only the outgoing Q slows. And then the return Q, it deals a bit more damage because it has double the AP scaling. So it's definitely good to prioritize proccing it or, like, hitting it. But, of course, in this situation, I don't know, like, it was, in my opinion, a bit of an overcommitment for a 150 gold shutdown. Because just realize that you're worth more gold than the Pantheon here, basically, right?
Right.
I mean, at least you also got his bounty stack, so yeah, you got something out of it, but it's like, you're actually worth more, you know? So your flash is not really worth to flash for a kill like that. Let's see what you do here.
Save it for the bot or the mid.
Yeah, like save it for a more high priority target, or like for saving your own life as well, of course. Just, yeah, at this point, just commit to doing the Herald here.
She comes and takes it again. You're gonna laugh.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean... yeah, just like, don't let that kind of stuff affect you, you know? It will happen, there's always gonna be... like, players that are, like, gonna make your game unnecessarily difficult, but if you let that affect you, it's never gonna be positive for you, so... really no point, you know? And I mean, at this point, you're still in a position to carry. Of course, it's not looking too insanely good for you, but also at the same time, like, gold is even overall, right? Gold is somewhat even. You have the Drake, so it's not like you're in a losing position here or anything. It's just you need to make sure to be the one carrying this one. Oh, why are you so scared here?
I'm not sure.
Definitely didn't need to be so scared. You can smite here. Yeah. I mean, you get him. So yeah, that's fine. I guess just generally, like, first of all, okay, multiple things here. I guess you could have ulted. You didn't need to. Just in general, in some scenarios, especially in the late game, where like getting picks is even more valuable, you know? Okay, I guess you couldn't have ulted because the ult was here, but let's say you're just in some brush. Let's say you're in this brush, for example, because you know someone will walk in from the river because they want to maybe do Drake, and they will just face check this. A really, really big misconception by a lot of lower elo players, a lot of lower elo Ekko players is to not use ult right away, but that's exactly what you should be doing. Just ult right away. It should be your first spell, because ult is such a difficult spell to hit, you know? And if you can hit it for free like that because someone is face checking, you should always take that. And then, like, that's the first reason, because it's kind of difficult to hit. And then the second is also because of your W, you know? The W passive. So your attacks deal more damage when the enemy is below 30%. So with that ult, if you use it in the beginning, it will get them to the 30% threshold faster, you know? So that's like the second smaller reason why you would want to ult. So I mean, if you want to just get the kill here right away, I think, you just ult now. Does this guy have E? No, he doesn't even have E. So yeah, you just ult now. Do you even hit it here? Yeah, I think if you ult now, you probably hit it. You just kill him right away, you don't waste any more time. But you also just didn't have to kite away like this, you know? It seems like you might have like some mental image of Pantheons one-shotting you or something. But like, this is really not a situation where he would do anything.
Typically, I always get one shot by Pantheon. But
But see, like,
that's playing Italy. I usually got to step back with range, do a lot of autos, hit a spear.
I mean, Ekko is
I'm
not
used to.
Ekko is not much tankier than Nidalee or anything like that. But you just see, right? Like, obviously, every game's gonna be different. If the Pantheon is 10-0, then yeah, he might as well one-shot you. But he's not, you know. And that's why you also need to press tab. I don't know, obviously, how much you press tab, but I assume you probably just, like most players in your elo, you probably don't press tab nearly often enough to get all the info that you could be getting. So, like, just understanding that, like, these kind of items, he's not gonna one-shot you. Like, and you don't even need to see the items. You could just see what he does to you here, right? Like, he hits his Q, and the next Q is gonna deal the exact same amount of damage, you know? So, let's see how much he dealt with his spells here to you. He got you to, like, what, 70% HP? That was Q auto attack. And like, yeah, he has his W up again, he could be stunning you or whatever, but like, none of that would be killing you, and especially because you have your W placed here, you know? The W is such a powerful spell, and that's why it has a 20-second cooldown, you know? Because it does so many things. The W is like, actually one of the best spells in the game. Because it not only, of course, gives you a massive shield, it stuns you if people stand in there, it slows them, it gives you vision, but also, not just that, like, you can see he can't even keep attacking you if you have your W placed, you know, because he will have to walk out. You know? Like, he has to make the decision either...
And aggressive type of spell. I
yeah,
use it better.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that you even use it at all, but it's like... See, like, these steps here were just unnecessary. You could have just stuck on him here. Really just understand that you have your E up in 2 seconds, you have your W, you have your smite, you just auto-attack him twice more, smite him probably, then finish him off with E. I mean, at least like this, I guess you made him waste his flash. So that's not even bad. But just in general, I just want you to understand, like, in these situations, really just don't be so scared. Because in some situations, maybe you might have missed out on the kill here because of this kind of stuff, you know?
Okay.
And then here, I guess taking a reset is not a bad idea. You want to be able to contest Drake and you want to spend your gold beforehand. Let's see. Yeah, I think buying Magi's here could be an option if you have flash up. Like, I personally probably would buy Magi's here with flash up. Without flash, I wouldn't. But with flash, I think this is a game where you really need to be the one carrying it. So, there's different opinions on this. But like, my personal opinion is in games like these where I feel like I'm the main carry and like the only big carry, I want to just have as high, like my carry potential, I would like it to be as high as possible, you know? And Magi's definitely helps with that. And this is a game where you for sure, like, you could see already, you've been getting a bunch of kills already, and you're for sure gonna be able to get more. So, like, for example, a fully stacked Magus is definitely one of the ways you can beat an Akali.
Okay. Yeah. When I play in Italy, I buy a Magi before I buy my first item, and I fully stack it. It's great. But just because I'm new at Ekko, I don't know how to kill people that well, so that's why I was hesitant to spend my money on it.
Yeah, okay. That's definitely reasonable.
Sure. As soon as you teach me how to play this champ, I'll buy Magi's always.
Yeah, nah, you shouldn't always buy it. I've been definitely someone that bought it too much, let's say. Like, I feel like I've lost games because I bought it. And, like, oftentimes getting that Rabadon's is just a much bigger power spike. But in situations like these, I definitely think there's good value to buying it. Okay. Oh, I can't believe you lost this game. Like, right now the game's looking pretty good. Also, with this Akali... Yeah, you even got her Akali here, well.
Yeah, this game, I was so close to winning it.
Yeah, I mean, you got 2 Nash as well.
Samir ended up getting a pentakill, and they
damn.
ended it. But we were in their base, we were gonna end... I'm not
Oh,
sure.
shit. Yeah, we'll see. I guess also with this, like, normally Akali is really hard to kill. With this build, she's probably actually gonna be quite easy to kill. I just want you to know, like, most Akalis, they will play with like Conqueror and then Resolve Tree secondary, so they will have Bone Plating or some bullshit like that, which makes them just tankier. And then they also won't go for this; they will go for like Rocket Belt. So, like, this kind of Akali, if she actually goes for this build, which you probably won't see too much, she's actually kind of killable. And that's another reason why you should just be pressing tap, you know? Just get that understanding. That this is much more of a glass cannon Akali than most of them will be. So yeah, at this point, definitely... Yeah, I mean... You're kind of in the winning position at this point, right? You got the 2 Drakes as well, you have a bit of a gold lead here, and you also have scaling on your side, I would say, right? You have a Kayle, you have Ekko, Nafiri scales quite well, Akali scales fine as well, but like none of your champs scale bad. So, and Pantheon doesn't scale too amazingly well. And you're already ahead here, right? So at this point you just need to be making a plan, like how are you going to win this game? And generally winning games is about taking objectives, you know?
Yeah.
So
I believe I started, I turned to splitting and I took a lot of the towers, bought, because that's what I like about Ekko that I could not do with Nidalee. I could push waves quick and I could take towers really quick. I love it.
Yeah, that's definitely a good strength of Ekko Jungle, I guess. I think here in this situation, definitely you should just, like, I don't know, like the Kayle should just be here, you know, she just shouldn't be mid. That's a silver mistake, let's say, right? Because like good players just wouldn't group up mid randomly. The Kayle really needs her XP. So you shouldn't even be in a position to go top. You should just be in a position where you keep jungling. And then you just need to make a decision who to play with. I guess in this situation playing with the Kayle is not a bad idea because she's also really strong here. You could just be looking to maybe invade the top side here with her together. At least if the Thresh is not in base, let's say. Like, at this point you really need to start worrying about how you're gonna just keep getting further and further ahead, let's say. And the best way to do that is just by invading, you know? And in this situation, like, Ekko is also a champ that's not easy to pick off, so you can't just go for aggressive invades. If you see someone, cool, you just turn around, you know?
Okay.
But, I mean, that's exactly what you're doing here, actually. You're invading, so that's definitely good. I would say as far as, like, gold or silver players go, you're definitely above average from, like, what I've seen. And especially from, like, just Ekko specific stuff as well, for the fact that you only played 7 games. For sure, like, this is... Yeah, this is how you're gonna throw the game. What?
I watched a lot of your videos on Ekko, so I obviously
yeah, that's
I
good.
know what I should try to do better, which proc pass and run around, but I don't do it well at all.
Now that's definitely kind of noticeable, I guess. Let's say, as I said, right, you don't have a lot of bad habits built up because you just picked up Ekko. You saw like how he should be played for the most part, and you definitely imitate a lot of that. Of course, just like generally the like how smooth the mechanics are and whatever, it's just like how it is with 7 games, completely normal, but it's also not really what you need to focus on. Really nice, got the stun here as well.
This is where I use ult, I think. I throw it.
Yeah.
It did a lot of damage, but it did not kill.
The problem here was just...
Would it kill her?
the main problem here was just like the fact that Nautilus didn't die and he was able to ult you, right? And then just of course the general awareness of like the Nautilus ult being a spell you need to worry about here, right? It's just like, yeah, actually, it's just sad that I don't know how the Nautilus still lived for such a long time. Yeah, I guess you threw your Q into the Samira W. That's another thing. Like that's something that you just you will get with experience. You have played 7 Ekko games. You have probably never faced Samira up until this game.
I should E onto her first inside of her W. And
You should just bait out her W. Like every Samira player, as soon as you E on top of them, they will just W. Like they will always, every single time they will do it. Trust me. And so you should just wait with your Q, right? Because in this situation, what was missing to killing the Samira was the Q that you threw into her W. So let's watch this again. Everything fine here. I think even going for this ult it's not even like a massive mistake. Yeah, here just like, I guess the best way you could have played this is E on top, like E over here. So you're also as far away as possible from the Akali, and then also you're actually too far away from the Nautilus to even ult you. So, but that's like really good awareness. Like that's the kind of awareness you probably even I wouldn't have in the game. Not like this at least. So yeah, but like your priority should be to just proc the passive, and I guess the safe way to do that is always with E. And see, because now you throw your Q, you throw it in the W, it just takes you a little bit too long. You get ulted, you get the shutdown. But it's not even the end of the road, you know. Like it definitely hurts because before you're in a really good position, and now the Akali is definitely a problem, but. Again, she's also building some really weird items, so at least she's killable with this build. Like I'm sure she deals a lot of damage, but at least she's kind of killable with this build compared to a lot of other ones. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a close fight. It was definitely just a close fight. It was not like a really hardcore int ult or anything, honestly. And I would even say it's respectable that you went for it.
yeah, after that fight failed, my confidence kind of went down a little bit. I knew
It shouldn't though.
it's a lot harder now.
But it's really not. Like that's definitely a mindset that you also need to understand. But like, you didn't really lose too much power here. You know, you lost like 4 Dark Seal stacks. That's it. You know, you're still really strong here. You're still 1.5k gold ahead on like the top mid. You're even 1k gold ahead on the Samira. You're still in a really good position to get kills. So just like don't let these deaths discourage you too much. And then just make the plan of killing the Akali at this point. Like, she should be your main target. If you see this kind of item build especially, she's super squishy with it. She has the shutdown. It's a massive shutdown. As soon as you get that shutdown, the game is just turned again, you know?
Okay. Yeah, I think we get it soon.
Let's see. You could definitely be getting into a better position here. Like, this is a bit too passive. Standing here.
Do for a Drake fight, when I'm on red side, how do you position where you can land a big W? Do you come around the back of the pit?
Nah, most of the time not, but it's definitely something you could be doing here. Right, yeah, for sure. Like in this situation, if you actually manage to sneak around here, place a W from behind, could for sure be massive. But like, this is such a impossible to answer question, you know, because there's so many variables. It always depends on the champs. It always depends on which champs are fed and whatever. And I guess like a general thing I like to do is like, let's say in a standoff like this, right? This is a very common standoff where like one team is on this side, the other one on this. And if you're on this side especially, just place a W on this brush. That's definitely something I like to do. Just placing a W here.
I can engage. It's okay for me to do start the engage.
You can.
The most important person on our team right now, 'cause
Yeah, you can, but your W is like it's gonna give you a big shield, and you have the ult as well, right? So yeah, you might not always want to engage. Placing a W doesn't necessarily mean you need to engage. It just means you can engage. And if your team is in a position where you see like they might be able to follow up, then yeah, you might as well make the decision to engage. And then of course also it depends on who's getting caught by the W. If you get like a really high priority target in here, then yeah, you might just engage, try to one-shot them, and then go out, you know? Like, I don't know if you said you watched some of my videos. With the rocket belt, of course, you can do like really quick combos. So oftentimes you can get into like these fights with... You go into your W, you do a really quick combo, and then you just ult out, and like you actually cannot get punished unless you're playing against stuff with point-to-click CC, you know?
okay.
I mean, yeah, Nautilus ult is of course... Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, here for example, definitely place a W somewhere around here. I would say. Either that or just make the decision to hard group up with them here. It's kind of bad. I don't know why your team is... where we're so split up here. The Ziggs should just be like... Oh, okay, this guy fucked up going over the wall. This guy should just be grouped up with you here. It's definitely really bad by him. Especially because he actually has a shutdown. So, like, him being alone here against champs like Akali and whatever is, like, really, really bad. But this is the kind of stuff you need to expect in silver, and you won't...
Yeah.
Or, like, in gold.
They let you down a lot. So
Yeah, so you just need to make sure to... Exactly, just make sure you punish the mistakes by the enemies that are happening, you know, because there's so many mistakes by them happening as well, like so many mispositions and whatever. I would say this game's actually, I mean, you punished most of the stuff, I guess, this game actually, and that's why you were really fat, right? You actually were pretty good at punishing most of the missteps by the enemies. It's just, I guess you just didn't have the confidence to keep going. Yeah, like, you definitely, the Samira is a really good target. You probably threw your Q again into the ult, into the W. I don't even know, like, your team was just not really present in that fight. I guess they were struggling with the Yi here. Yeah, it's just, like, overall this just was a pretty bad fight because your team was so split up for no reason. But overall, the way you did this was fine. I think the biggest mistake was the fact that you threw your Q into the Samira W again. So yeah, like, right now, like, while she's stunned, you just need to... Ah, she had cleanse as well. So she cleansed flash, but... Yeah, so and she W'd before, and then that's where you threw the Q again. And that's why it took you a little bit too long to proc passive. Oh, wow, your damage is actually kind of low on her here, I'm not gonna lie. It's crazy. I guess she healed up a bit with the Bloodthirster. Wow. I'm actually surprised by that, I have to say. The fact that you're passive proc...
If I know, let's say I know, hey, you know, they're not performing, my team is not performing, can I skip this Drake and go take towers, or no?
Yeah, 100%. Like, if you know that you're gonna lose a Drake, then it's most of the time better to give them up. And especially in this game, like, if you actually knew before this fight that you felt like you would be losing it, which I think is not necessarily the case, like, you could have for sure won. But it was a 3-4-4, and they're really low, so this definitely could have gone the other way as well. Like, this guy, for example, he still has Ignite up and stuff. There's so much stuff that... And this guy's full HP as well, so... I'm sure this could have went the other way if people would have performed better. So this is definitely a Drake I think you should be fighting, because it will also get you to soul point. But generally, especially in a game like this, you have 2 Drakes. You can give every single Drake at this point, because yeah, like the game is not gonna go to soul most likely, and then like the ocean Drakes are so useless at this point. Infernal Drakes, Mountain Drakes, Hextech Drakes, these kind of Drakes, you usually want them. But the Ocean Drake, it really does nothing, you know, it gives you like, what, 2.5 missing health out of combat region or something? That's not impactful at all in the mid to late game.
I think we tried this dragon about 2 more times too, so I shouldn't prioritize getting these dragons.
No, not really.
My team needs it. They're not winning these fights. They're behind. We need dragons to win. But you know what? Next time I'll just go take towers, because...
Yeah, that's a wrong assumption. I mean, you're not behind here, right? You're literally ahead by 100 gold as well. And okay. If you were just like clearing your jungle or something here, then you would... Like, I think at this point, especially after you lost that last fight, maybe you should just be looking to complete your Rabadons here, get like really strong. And because this is probably where you made the game quite difficult by like dying here again. Let's see. I'm actually curious. Seems like Nefiri, you got a bunch of kills. Yeah, you're just kind of flipping the fight again. Where was your W here? Wait. You place it.
I don't think I hit it right.
Ah. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is not definitely... Wait, didn't you have vision here? Oh, there, Kali cleared it. Okay, that's why I guess you might have thought she's still in there. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just... Okay, definitely don't E in here, though. Like, never do that. Just, like, as a general thing, yes, your E is not the longest cooldown, but you still never want to use it randomly, you know? You always want to have it available in case you really need it. And you can need it both offensively and defensively, of course, right? Either you need it offensively to engage or defensively to dodge something. And, like, here, you even have vision. Like, why are you even Eing in here? You're just getting... Like, this is actually quite a mistake, you know? The fact that you E in here, because now you're just gonna be so far away and your team is gonna start fighting here in a second, and that's why you're too far away. And then you also just stay in here a little bit too long. I mean, this turns out fine, though. Yeah, I mean, Akali damage is definitely disgusting at this point. She has Rabadon's complete 12 and 1. Let's see. Could you have even really respected that? Yeah, probably the best call would have just been to give up the Drake. Realistically. With how strong the Akali is. Just give up the Drake because you don't want to be teamfighting, you want to try and pick off the Akali when she's on her own, you know?
Okay.
Because that's like your best shot.
I wouldn't do that on my own, right? I need somebody else to...
Yeah, not in this position.
Okay.
I mean, it actually turned out fine again because you even got the kill, but... I mean, he also got the shutdown, so... Again, it could have been worse. You actually went up in gold a little bit here. But it's definitely... It was just a coin flip again, you know, and for you personally, it really wasn't that great.
Right, and I believe we tried one.
And, like, okay, this is definitely something you shouldn't be doing. At this point, you just need to accept that the Drake is gone. Okay, but it actually turns out... See, like, okay, these kind of stuff working might just give you the wrong impression that it was the correct play, you know? Because this was just a coin flip that went into your way, like, in your direction, let's say, you know? And now you really need to do Nash, like, you really need to. This is a big mistake by you. Big macro mistake. Understand that Drake is such a laughable objective to take, and like especially after a minute 26. Yes, Akali is here. It's a little bit scary, but I think in a 5v1 she probably won't kill you. You know, like you should be able to. And yeah, that's a really big mistake by you. Right. That was probably why you lost the game. Not taking Nash here. I guess you get it a little bit later, but still, like just take the Nash now. Really. Understand that you can get it very easily. It's a 5v2, you know. They just died, so you have more than enough time to go there. And yeah, like this guy is probably not gonna win. Yeah, you just needed to be there, you know. Okay. See, like now you're getting 600 gold for yourself, which cool is nice, is really cool for you, but you could have gotten 1,500 gold from this, you know. And then you probably would have gotten this later. So, definitely a pretty big macro mistake. Oops. And also take this, like, there's no reason not to just take this really quick. Okay, it's a little bit of reason, this could have been risky, but I think you would have gotten it, you know. And even if they come around the corner, you just run, you know. So, just, like, go for it. I guess you still get the Nash, even, because your team is still on it.
I got my Rabadons.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, at this point... I mean, understand... No, I guess what you need to do with it is just understand that you're really strong now. If you have Rabadons, you're basically full build. Like, yeah, you will still get a bit stronger, but, like, the really big power spike you're gonna feel in your game is for sure, like, complete at that point. Definitely too passive, this ult. Yeah, didn't have too much value.
I thought Nautilus was gonna CC me. I wanted to leave, but obviously I was...
Yeah, you had a little bit better awareness in this fight. Like, in a bunch of ways. I mean, yeah, he might CC you, but he won't, again, you won't insta-die here if you have your W. Didn't you have your W? No, okay, like, now you just need to place it in the brush right away. Yeah, it's, of course...
Did Samira kill me before my W procs, right here?
I don't know. I don't think, like, it's hard to tell because you only let her auto-attack you once.
Yeah, she's been killing me really quick, so I was just... From the rest of the game...
No, but...
Hey, let me get away from this.
No, but she wouldn't have killed you, really. Like, that was definitely a mistake, ulting out there after just one auto-attack, because Nautilus also didn't have ult up, so he only could have CC'd you for, like, 0.5 seconds, you know?
Okay.
So, yeah, like, just don't be so scared here, and especially because your Hale is still around and stuff, and, like, your Nafiri is going in, and now you just decide to run away when you could have just helped, you know? So that's why, I mean, like, really bad awareness here. Could have definitely saved the Nafiri here. Yeah, especially because you're full HP. So really don't be so scared. Like, yes, you are a squishy champ, you are, but like, it's also quite difficult to hit you if you play correctly, you know? It really is. Yeah, don't proc your passive into the Pantheon E. Yeah, dealt 0 damage, of course, there. And you could have just played with your W here as well, you know? Literally just stand in here, you can see him walking up. You can literally see that he pressed W on you because he was pathing directly to you, basically. So just like stand in your W, he will get stunned, and, then you just chunk him really big. You probably don't kill him because he's quite tanky with his build, but You just give him a big chunk and maybe you can even hard commit and kill him. But like what you're doing now is you're just basically getting hard out traded. And then also you don't need to rocket belt. Like understand that he has already used his W. Okay, I guess he had it up again, but you were still out of range, you know? So like you don't need to rocket belt. Rocket belt is also a spell that it has some cooldown, you know, it has 45-second cooldown. If you use it too freely, I guess, if you're not thinking about when to use it, you might miss out on a lot of kills because you like the rocket belt really increases your range and your combo potential by a lot, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think clearing jungle here is fine. I guess definitely keep clearing, like just clear your whole jungle next time, and stay on the map. Like going base for blasting one tier is really quite unimpactful, you know, at this point. And you're leaving base with a lot of gold, so I think what are you even building here? White stuff?
Yeah. I don't see a lot of MR, but I don't know what else to build at.
You can always build Nashers, like just always build. Yeah, Zonya's also not too bad in this game, definitely, but you can always just build Nashers if you feel like you don't need a white stuff, which is definitely the case sometimes. Like the only one building MR is Nautilus, and he's really not your target. So I think here I would have just built Nashers. As a last item, it's nice. Like if you have Lichbane and Nashers, like Ekko is the most fun. If you are like allowed to build both items. Like don't be afraid to ping your like Kale away or something if you see her doing stupid shit like this. Like she just can't be here without a tower and with you not having a single bit of vision. So yeah, I mean, this is a really bad death, of course. At 30 minutes, every single death counts. Again, you did it again, right? Like, never do that. Like, never E into brushes. Unless there is someone in there, right? Like, but never E in there if you don't have any reason to E in there, basically.
I can just use W for vision.
Yeah, but like, yeah, not even that. Why would you E in there? Like, if you find someone in there, you don't want to have the E used already. You might want to have the E to be able to react to something they have, you know? So, like, you're just making yourself extremely vulnerable by Eing into brushes like that. Like, most of the people you could be finding here, you don't even want to E into, you know? Like, sure, you're kind of fat, you maybe won't die instantly. And again, like, this rocket belt, just no real value gained. Do we have vision on this guy?
I think I would have been standing right there. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, we didn't see if he went into the brush. If we had seen that, then definitely place a W, of course, and check for him. Oops. Okay, you actually kind of did that. And then another thing, like here, go into your W. You already placed it, so use it. 100% use it here. As soon as you face check, just turn around and go into your W. Get that shield and you might even get the stun, you know? See, like, now just, like, definitely run there. He will Q you and probably this is a situation, for example, where he might even get stunned because he will come out as soon as you're in your W here. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you just ran the wrong way. You didn't use your double shield, and that's why you had to ult right away. If you didn't, see, like, you would have just killed them if you didn't have to ult so early and had just used your W. Yeah, now I guess 6 just that. Great Zonya's value. Cool. And your team also died. Okay, you got them here. Generally still, I think, just be more patient here next time. Just, like, W here. I guess you thought you would be getting him and the minion blocked the rocket belt, right? But I guess, yeah, I mean, that's awareness you could have, you know? So, like, just E on the minion here and then rocket belt next time. Like, E, do the E auto attack and then make sure the... Like, just don't even give the Pantheon any chance to be behind a minion or something. Just make 100% sure that you get the proc on him and then you don't have to flash, you know? Because again, like, flash is such an important cooldown, especially in, like, the later the game goes, the more valuable flash becomes. So here, flashing for a random 300 gold kill like that, again, is not really worth. Like it's kind of okay because at least it like stops them from pushing and whatever, but still, it's really it puts you at quite a risk, you know.
Yeah, no, I
Well,
know.
and you just fat fingered ult here.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I love that
definitely not
actually.
amazing.
I remember that too. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean that definitely hurts right before an objective where the Akali might come and contest. You die for it?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay. You can definitely lose games
I
like
was pissed
that.
off.
You just genuinely fat fingered it or what?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Mm.
there was nothing I was ulting for.
Yeah.
I just pressed it on accident.
Let's see though. I mean, at this point, you just need to accept that you need to run. You know, you could have eat over the wall here. I think you could have definitely lived. I think your E was up. No, like it's nice that the kill even saved you with her ult. So yeah, like just at this point, stand at the wall in 0.5 seconds. It's up. Just like don't even walk into his range. You know, like you're giving him a chance to hook you. Like literally just walk as far away as possible from him and just E over the wall. Yeah, okay, I mean that Kali might have been able to follow you, but maybe not. Like maybe with the plant you would have been able to escape. Yeah, you dying here, of course. Like I don't even know if your ult would have changed too much. You might have still died because it was a 3v2 with the Yi at least, and the Akali is of course really strong here. So yeah, this stuff definitely not even that impactful. Honestly, like they actually didn't get anything for it. You even got the Drake. So really not even the worst stuff, honestly. Definitely like need to be looking at your team here. Okay, got got the W proc. I think this ult was a mistake. Where was Akali? Okay, still like it was actually fine the way it turned out. Again, I think in general you need to be there quicker. You know, we can already see on the minimap the fight is about to happen, and like sure, okay, Ekko is so fast at clearing the waves. It's fine that you do it here, but like these last couple of auto attacks, you know, they're a little bit greedy at least. I know, of course, you want the gold, but it's like these like 2 seconds could make you miss out on being there at the right time. That they really could. So like definitely value that, and you will be able to push the wave afterwards as well, you know. And then like here, I guess just place a nice W here. I'm pretty sure that's what you do, right? Yeah, that's everything fine. Okay, like that's definitely something I'm gonna show you in a second with the rocket belt. Like this rocket belt again just had no value. I think if you just get the damage from the rocket belt, unless you get a kill, I would count that as no value. Because you can get so much more value. You can get and the auto attack reset, you can dodge a spell with it or something. But all you're doing here is just getting into a range that you're already in, right? You could just be E, you could just E forward here and you're already on the Samira. So what you do, you just rocket belt randomly and then you E and you're like literally in her face already. It's like no reason. Then here you ult out after the Pantheon had already basically used everything. I think, yes, you're kind of low here, you need to be careful for sure, but I think definitely it's better to stay in there, walk behind the E, proc your passive, and then maybe ult if you feel like you don't kill him right away. But I think you would just kill him right away here within a Fury. You just had to proc your passive, see, like this guy's so low.
Okay.
But overall, fine, I guess. Again, you use your E randomly, you know? You don't value your E dash, but it's so important. You just like randomly decided to E here in a second. From what, like you thought he would dash on you, but like he doesn't even have a dash, you know. He can't just dash on you. And if he runs at you, then you can still E in a reactive manner. You know, like that's a really important thing. Just use your E reactively. Don't use it proactively, or not proactively is like the wrong word. I guess preemptively is not the way you should be using it. Because a lot of the times you're using it in ways where the thing that you thought might happen is not even gonna happen, and then you just put yourself at a risk. Yeah, sadly you didn't get the Akali, so now you still probably can't really push. I mean, with a good W, I'm sure at this point you can actually 1v1 her. Yeah, okay, she has the Magi stacked, so it's definitely like an ego thing, but I'm sure you could be 1v1ing her.
Okay.
But yeah, just next time, just take the whole jungle here. You know, you're not full build. You have the books here. You could be upgrading. Like, there's no reason not to just take this camp. Zero. It literally takes you 1 second at this point. You throw your Q, you proc passive on the big one, and it's dead. You know. So just like clean the whole side here, then maybe push bot, and then look for a reset and do Nash or something. So just like no reason, and also of course you're taking it away from the Yi, and the Yi is also not full build yet. He's even further behind than you. Like, you're not behind, but he's behind a little bit. So taking that away from him, not even giving him any chance, is definitely better. And just understand that, like, how quickly you're gonna clear the camps at this point. Okay, I don't think you should ever do that, what you're doing here. Why did you sell your Dark Seal? Just upgrade it.
Oh, you think so at this point?
100%. Like, that's the best way you're gonna get even stronger here. And like right now you're looking to fight. You can even see in the time that you're getting a bunch of kills as well. So, and then another reason, it also works with this, right? With the mythic passive. So it's not only that, but the Magus counts as a legendary item. So it will give you another 5 magic pen, which is also something, right? It's not unimpactful at all. So
okay.
yeah, that's another reason. It's definitely better than just a needlessly large shot here. And also needlessly large shot is not really an item. Like, what will you build with this Shadow Flame? I think if anything you should be building Nashors here. Shadow Flame is an item you basically never build on Ekko. Like, you can if you want just full one-shot potential, but I feel like usually the ability haste and whatever is just worth more, you know, from Nashors and the attack speed and this kind of stuff. Okay, I got a Nash. Let's see. I think I would just disengage here, probably. No reason to lose Nash buffs here. Your team thought differently, so, well, you lose 2 of them for no reason. Still have 3 though, so it's fine. Okay, you lost the mid inhib, which is not the end of the world, honestly. Like, mid inhib is definitely the least problematic to lose.
Sidelines, right?
Yeah, because it's like you're already like always moving through the mid lane, so you can just clean it, like clear it while you're like just randomly walking most of the time. Okay. You're too cautious with your ults. Like you use them too early, oftentimes I have to say. But again, like this is just kind of normal, I guess, when you don't know your limits well. But definitely understand, I guess. Look, especially here, it also shows some understanding of the Akali ult, because she can't insta recast her ult, you know. Like it takes her some time. See, after 2.5 seconds, so she couldn't have even killed you right away. So next time make sure to proc your damage on her, and then maybe ult if you feel like you really need to, you know. But right now you're just not achieving much. When you could have at least proc passive on her or something, and then she maybe would have gotten done even less. And also, as I said, with this build, I'm pretty sure you can probably even one-shot her. Like, you're also really strong here. Just understand that. And now, honestly, you probably should not be fighting without ult. Yeah, you get punished for it. Like, yeah, I understand you want to help your team here, but I personally probably would just ping my ult here. Like, it's such a laughably low cooldown, and it's still such an incredibly strong spell that you should really just abuse that fact, you know? Like, just tell your team, come on guys, fuck it, let's drop this Drake. It's literally Ocean Drake. Yeah, cool, it would be nice to get the soul, but you know what? Like, do you know how Ocean Soul works? It's like good for fights that last a long time. And do you see all of these champs in this game? Like, these fights are not gonna last a long time. You've noticed this, right? Like, you're one-shotting each other. So Ocean Soul is basically worthless in this game. So just give this Drake up, wait for your ult, and you're even in a positive situation here, right? It's a 4v3. I mean, okay, Ziggs is base, which is actually another reason why you shouldn't even be fighting here. But like, you're not unhappy with the fact that you killed the Akali already and stuff. So yeah, like this was just really bad patience, I guess, is the biggest problem here, right? No, and then of course also, yeah, like in many ways as well. I think you didn't even proc your W, right? You died before it procced. Yeah, you eat over it, like that. Really big mistake. Really big mistake. Like, yeah, always, every single time. Like, for so many reasons as well. Let me count every single reason why you would want to place W. Like, before you...
She would have been stunned?
What? Like, you kill all of them here, 100%. If you just place W,
Man.
see, like,
I could have won.
yeah, you had 10 different scenarios where you could have won, but like this is another one, of course. It's like, see how big, like, see that number. Look at your HP bar. It's 2,500. Look at what W does. It's like it will literally increase your it will increase your HP by another 30% basically, which is insane, you know. And for, not even for a short duration, like 2.5 seconds is, or like, yeah, I think it also gives a shield for 2.25 seconds. So that's a long time. Like, and that's HP that they need to get through first. And of course, it's the stun, it's everything, you know. It's just like there's so much value. And the biggest reason also, you want to place it from here because, or like from just behind the wall, so they don't even see it, right? They don't even see you casting it, and then they will have so much less time to react. You're aware of that, right? Like, usually you want to,
out of vision,
yeah.
They won't see. If you cast it in vision, do they see where you put it, or no? They just
No, they don't. But they see that you cast it, so they just have more. Like, they will even think about it. Now they won't think about it if you place it from out of vision. So that would have definitely won you that fight 100%. Like, you never die here. You never die if you had placed. Yeah, you place it in the end, but you just need to place it before every single time. Before you engage in any fight, especially in the late game, but in general, before you engage in any fight, you just need to place your W. You really need that shield. There's a reason that Riot has put it in his kit. They didn't add it to Ekko's kit so you don't use it, you know? That's how you should think about it. It's like, he's a squishy champ, but he's not even that squishy if he uses his W. And that was such a clumped up fight as well, right? You would have stunned the Samurai and the Pantheon, so you might have even saved your team as well in the process. That was definitely.
When I'm clearing jungle level 3, do I need W or can I take Q?
Yeah, early you. What do you mean?
Let's say I started Raptors and I started can I do QE and then a second point in Q?
Nah, you shouldn't. You should always like.
No?
No. E doesn't increase your speed because of the W passive. You know.
Okay. So
The minus it also works on minions, of course, and that's why you definitely want to skill your W. And it also keeps you healthier, which is often quite important to be able to gank and stuff, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you really don't need to camp anymore, clear any more camps. The only thing you can buy is an elixir. I guess you can sell your boots, but it's not a priority, you know? You should be looking to make stuff happen on the map. Just like, at this point, you really just need to constantly be looking at the map and see if there's people that might be going somewhere where they shouldn't be going and face check you, or like even a Samira that's walked up like this, you can probably punish, you know? You have a lot of movement speed with this, with like glitch ban, whatever. You just run from here, place a W, see if she doesn't react to it. If she doesn't, you just one-shot her, you know? And then you made a really big impact pick. Like that's the kind of stuff you need to be looking for, especially with Ekko. Because with Ekko, even if things go wrong, you can still always just ult out. And in the late game, you really don't mind. It's a 30-second cooldown, you know? So it's like the potential of taking someone off the map for 50 seconds. Man, if you just, I think if you just hadn't flashed, you probably would have killed her.
Okay.
Because I think the flash just made it so it was a little bit awkward. See, your ordering is wrong. You always use Rocket Belt first. But you should be using E and then Rocket Belt most of the time in situations like these where you needed to get into range.
Yeah, I noticed she flashed too, but that's still, regardless, I still would have been able to get her on.
Yeah, you could have just E'd Rocket Belt. The Rocket Belt gives you movement speed as well, you know, right? 30% for 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, okay.
So you want to E, have that extra movement speed. It will often be enough to just catch up and get into range. And then, of course, here she flashed away, and then you just follow with your flash. But what you did, yeah, you flashed on the spot, you know? Because you were just too excited, I guess, to get on top of her. But it's like, you saw that, right? You eat, and then you flashed on the same position where you eat, basically. So you weren't able to follow. That was, again, really impactful, of course, not getting her here. Or do you get her in the end? I don't even know. And then this could still be fine if you just prioritize proccing passive on the Nautilus. Because if you proc passive, you might still be able to chase down the Samira as well. But against champions like Nautilus, what you often do in fights is really just you proc the passive just so you can get on other targets that you want to fight more, you know? Just auto-attack him one more time here, Q him, you have a ton of movement speed, you can still keep running at her. You know? Like, you don't care that he will auto tech you or something, and root you in the place for a second, you just need to proc your passive. I don't know why this Kale is ulting you. What a wasted ult. Man, this still turned out fine. Like, how did you lose? You're like 5v3 here.
Samira gets a pentakill. I think her just EW procced her ult. Not sure.
Okay, you just didn't expect her to one-shot you like that. Wow, holy shit, what is that? I've never seen that. That's crazy. Is that from the skin? Holy shit! Well, that would probably make my PC crash on game. What the fuck? That's kind of cool, honestly. I've never seen that. It's actually makes me wanna play Samira. Holy shit. I guess. Yeah, I mean, this kind of stuff, it happens, you know. There's not too much to analyze here. You just didn't expect her to one-shot. I guess just like understand that Samira is a champ that scales incredibly well as well, and you need to respect this kind of damage output. Like you really need to. So, yeah, I guess do they just end here?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely hurts. I think overall, let's just rewind a little bit and see if there's something that. I mean, definitely, of course, it's super greedy by you guys to just keep pushing here without a minion wave. That's definitely, like, I think the safer play would... It's a 3v5, but of course we know this Akali is Omega fed, and, like, she seems to be a little bit better than the average player in this game. That's why she has 22 kills. So, she, like, even a 3v5, and against these champs, of course, as you notice, it's not free at all. So, I think just pushing in the side waves is probably the better macro play. And as I said already before as well, the mid inhib is not even worth that much. So, like, hard committing for it here is not gonna win you the game, probably. It's probably just gonna be much better to get the sideways and then look to end the game slowly, and just like oftentimes the best and the by far easiest way, especially in your elo, but like in any elo really, is just to win games. The easiest way is to just wait for mistakes from the enemies, because people make mistakes. They will make mistakes. You just need to be ready to punish them. Like that's such a big thing, honestly. People will overcommit for the stupidest shit, and like the lower the elo goes, the more true this is, of course. So really, all you need to do is just wait for the enemies to make the mistakes, be aware that they are mistakes, and then punish them. And like you're gonna win a lot of games, and it's gonna feel really easy. Like trust me. But what you did here is just like basically what they did here. They were just waiting for a mistake from you guys, right? And you just made that mistake. You just didn't respect the Samira and the Akali burst, and that's why they were able to just clean you up like that. And you could have just like shoved in the side waves or whatever, maybe played for the Ocean Soul after all or whatever, and just like I don't know, and not dive them here, or like not tank the tower here, because you wouldn't get this. Like you just need to understand beforehand already that you will never get this when there's still 3 people alive without a minion wave, you know? Minion wave is so far away and you're already going for the push here. This is like never the right play. This is never the right play unless everyone is like, literally dead.
Like 2-shot the tower, but looking at kills damage, I mean, if we all came in an auto with Ziggs and stuff, we could have killed it, but that's what I was thinking. But obviously I didn't see the Samira respawn timer and stuff.
And even then, no, Samira wasn't even dead. Was she? No, she wasn't dead. She was just recalling. Even then, you need to place your W again here. And you should be the one tanking. If you actually want to go for a push like this, which maybe you can if everyone's on the same page and they're like hard committing. But of course, right, you know the tower takes much less damage if there's no minions around. So...
Oh, right, does it? Okay.
Oh, you didn't even know. Yeah, that's really important to know. Yeah, that's so important. Like, it has a... It doesn't even say that it's a debuff. Does it say when you start attacking it? No, but it takes way less damage than when there are minions around. Definitely 100% trust me on that, so... I know, that's different stuff. Okay, so it doesn't say, but they definitely do take way less damage. So, definitely, if you want to commit for this kind of stuff, everyone needs to be on the same page, and even then I think it's just never the right play here, because they're alive and they're gonna, of course, defend it. So, yeah. Just a pretty bad macro call happens. There were for sure opportunities for you to carry this game, a bunch of them, but I think overall, I think the main thing was just like overall your team just made really weird decisions, and I guess you weren't really, you yourself were not proactive enough in the mid to late game to finding important picks and whatever that get you closer to victory. Because that's like the main thing you need to worry about as Ekko, you know? In the late game, as I said, you just look at the minimap, you see if people are running where they shouldn't be running or whatever, especially squishy targets. Like, so many times you can just run in from here, E over the wall, and then, like, get a pick on an ADC or whatever. So, that's how you have the best impact, and then you try to get objectives. Like, generally, you just try to get objectives when you have a numbers advantage. So, yeah, this was a really long replay. I hope it's fine if we don't go into a live again, and I'm just gonna show you some Ekko mechanics.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Okay, let me just log into an EOS account, though, so I don't have piping. I guess if you have any questions or whatever, you can, of course, also ask them. Just, like, general stuff.
My early game, when it comes to being invaded and stuff, what do? I just, if I find out late, let's say I walk over to red side and it's all gone, how do you make up for that?
Like, okay, is that a scenario that you feel like happens often where you just get invaded and you're surprised that you got invaded?
It's weird. People do it randomly. Like a champ that's not supposed to be invading, they'll come and invade and take my whole red side. And if my teammate doesn't put a ward down for me,
but most of the time, you should have some amount of awareness of if you can even be invaded timing-wise, you know?
Okay.
That's like, I'm actually gonna send you a video that I saw recently that was like really, really good by some challenger coach, just some like jungle coach. It gave me a much better understanding of jungle timings and how to play around them. So it can definitely send you that as well. But most of the time, you should just have some feeling of when the enemy can even invade you, right? Like, for example, when you show on the other side of the map, then you always have to be worried, can they even invade you? But like, oftentimes your camps shouldn't even be up, you know, if you path correctly. Okay. Your camps really shouldn't even be in a position to be invaded most of the time. Because that's such a common question I get, but it's, for example, something I basically don't struggle with at all. I never feel like I get invaded. Even though Ekko is not the strongest early champ or whatever, like, what the fuck is this? So it's like, I don't know, if you clear correctly, then the enemy doesn't have too much time to invade you most of the time. And if they do invade you, you should be meeting them most of the time, and then you can punish them, of course. Because if they're invading you, it means that like your laner should be quicker to move, you know? Like, because it's, of course, in your jungle. Okay, so let me just show you like the basic Ekko combos. I can recommend also to do what I'm about to do here, just to practice your mechanics a little bit.
Yeah, one in the practice tool, I was teleporting around the map, seeing which walls I could jump through and stuff like that. And
that's also fine.
Combos and
what I've been doing since yesterday to just warm up my mechanics is just like doing this. It's like going between these three really quick and just like making sure to proc the passive. And like, okay, let me just slowly show you, I guess, the combos. So the main combo, of course, you know, the EQ combo. You do this, you proc passive, and it takes some time, of course. Like, it's fine most of the time in the early game, you don't have any other choice. But it is like the main combo you need to be, or you should be kind of smooth with. And then, of course, you can add the rocket belt to it, because, you know, the rocket belt does have an auto attack reset. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why you can do this, and then it's like really quick, you know. Now I proc the pet, and in the late game, let's say, is what I said, right? You see an ADC walking you place a W, you go over, do this, bam, and then you just kill them. Okay, and in this situation, of course, I have to use the rocket belt to get into range, but I think you understand what I mean, right? If you can, you do this, and then like people won't react to it. They really won't. And then there's different, but I'm always saying, because some people, they say like, okay, this is the rocket belt combo. That's not how it is. You just need to proc passive. How you do it, it doesn't matter, you know? There might be situations where you do this, for example. Right, where you just auto-attack Q...
Your passive, right?
No, it doesn't. Only Ekko abilities do that. Like, only Q, E, and ult. But, just like, the way you use it, just make sure you use the auto-attack resets. E also is an auto-attack reset, if you didn't know. Right, like, you can do this. I don't have a lot of attack speed here, but I can still do 2 auto-attacks in a kind of short time span because of this. So... there might also be situations where you, for example, do this. You do E on and then you rocket belt and you proc passive really quick like this without a Q if your Q is maybe on cooldown. So, just as I said, the important thing is to proc your passive and just be able to adapt in fights, you know? And that's why I like this kind of practicing here a little bit. Just like also being good with like repositioning with your Q and stuff, making sure the return Q hits. Just a nice warm up. Like I just do like 2 minutes, 3 minutes of this kind of stuff before getting into a game. Just making sure I'm clean with my E auto attack resets and with my rocket build auto attack resets. And I can definitely recommend that to anyone, honestly, that wants to just improve their echo mechanics a bit.
Okay.
So yeah, like I'm always saying that the important thing is really to just proc your passive. How you do it, it doesn't matter most of the time, of course, but like in some situations, of course, you need to do this to just slow people, right? You need to do the EQ combo to slow people. But yeah, the rocket belt
Auto attack resets. I have rocket belt and I have E.
Yeah.
So only 2.
And for example, also the E is something you should just always be practicing while clearing jungle, you know? Like, there's no reason. Just always, while you're clearing jungle, make sure you use that part of Ekko's kit, you know? And then you'll just get into the habit of doing it, and it's gonna be very smooth for you at some point. Yeah, I guess I can show you some walls you can jump over as well. It's like, the most important walls to jump over, definitely like this one really good for like diving, you know? Most of the mid ganks that I personally do are just dives, you know? They're like, either from here, you just place a W, you go over, easy dive, or maybe sometimes even from here, it really depends. And then, I guess really important walls to know are, of course, also these ones. Actually, like, from this side, I kind of fuck it up sometimes. I think you really, like, for example, I don't think, yeah, you can't E over here.
I was trying that wall. There's 2 spots in that wall. I can get through from that side that you're on right now. There's one over by the tree and then one right where you are. Yeah.
Yeah, this one is kind of useful. Like, but see, I fuck it up like this so many times. So, yeah, and then of course on this side is a bit easier in my opinion. Like, I've never really felt this one. These are definitely like the most important wall jumps you need to be aware of. And then oftentimes you just, like, for example, this one is a really good engage angle. Imagine enemy top is pushing here. You just place a W, E over rocket belt, stun them. If you can, in a perfect world, you even clear the wave. Most of the time it's not possible, but if you can, of course, you try to clear the wave as well, and then you have a really good engage angle. Same on this side. On bot lane, it's usually a little bit more difficult because it's like there's ranged champions here, of course, so they will stand further back usually than the melee champs on the tower, but that's definitely a good engage angle. Let's see. Of course, for just diving bot lane, whatever. A nice thing you can do is definitely because oftentimes, like in higher elo at least, when people, they get the feeling when they're gonna be dove, you know? They have kind of that feeling in their head. So they might just place a ward here, you know? So you can still just be here and cast your W from here, and then they won't see you casting it, you know? If this is not warded at least. Like, oftentimes you will just walk in here, have it swept, know if you're being spotted, and if you don't, if you know it's not being, you're not being spotted, then you just can place a W from here. Or like even better, oftentimes you just can just even go here, right? Invest a little bit more time, go right behind them, and then give them very little chance to react. That's definitely something, I guess, also in your League of Drafts. I mean, of course, as I said, it's only 7 games, but you also, it didn't seem like you go for too many dives, but Ekko is very good at diving, you know? Like, especially after level 6, he's very good. And even before, like, with his W, you can definitely, if you're kind of coordinated, you can get dives off for sure. And then, yeah, as I said, for ganking mid in general, just take these paths. Like, just walk up here. Don't ever, like, if there's no rush to get to mid lane, don't ever walk through here. It's always better to just be behind the enemy already anyway, right? Like, imagine the enemy's here. Wouldn't you much rather be already behind them here and be able to cut off their way than just be here and then run out and give them more time to react? You know, there's just no reason. Yeah, and then this, like, exactly what I meant as well earlier, right? Like, so many times you just see someone pushing here, you go over, bam, you're in there, you do something to them. Let's see, are there any other important walls, I guess, to know about? Not really. I mean, there's this one which is really difficult but really useless as well. I actually did it first time. But, like, you really only can stand, like, here. I always imagine, like, this rune as some kind of tunnel towards here or whatever, but, like, that's a very niche thing, and most of the time what you can do is you just E over here or whatever, and then you will also reach the targets that you want to reach, so this is not really worth practicing in my opinion. I guess be aware that you can E over these walls, I'm sure you are. Right, like all of these walls, they're not super thick, you can just E over them. I guess this one is definitely good to know. Like, this one actually looks like you can't really E over, but I think you can... Yeah, you can E over quite a bit, and it actually can gain you some distance. Like, sometimes you can gain distance with certain walls, you know? Where it dashes you longer than the range looks, because it still wants you to go over. So I think if you E over like this, for example, it's a little bit longer. It might also be because of the terrain being lower. I guess this one's also good to know, like these ones that you can E over here. Like for stealing from the other side, of course. You can just E over, steal, same thing here.
When you steal an objective, do you just try to proc passive smite and then hop back out with R?
Yeah, let me show you actually the best way to steal objectives here as well. So let's imagine the enemies are just like doing it. It's like as let's say 2000 HP or something is usually a good time. It depends of course how much DPS, but usually in game you usually have a feel. Of course, you're right. You can tell how much DPS is being dealt. So then yeah, if they're not pulling it out, you just throw a Q, let it proc let it proc like the 2 stacks, go over smite, and like nobody cannot smite that, you know, like actually nobody. And then of course always place your W as well before every single time. Yeah, that's definitely important. And then, like, if for example the plant here is up, let's see, use it. You know where where can you not spawn the plants? I can. So then don't even use your E. You know, just do this, like this. Go over, smite, and then you can even E out. You don't even need to ult, unless of course they have something that will instantly CC or something. But just use these kind of plants as well. It's definitely a general tip I can give you. So yeah, I guess the most important Ekko combos are just like this. Not even, I don't even know if that's the stuff you should be focusing on, because of course you are in gold. But yeah, from the one game I saw from you, of course it was kind of a good game, let's say, right? Like I'm sure you don't, like, you had a really good early game in that one. Maybe there are other games where you struggle way more with your mechanics and whatever. But overall, I think just
say the early game I don't find a lot of kills as easy as other junglers.
But why not? I mean, it's most of the time it's not even about what jungler you're playing. It's really just about finding the, like, punishing the overextents, you know? Because people will overextend, like 100%. And then oftentimes that just being in a 3v2 means you win, you know? Or like being a 2v1, depending on where you're ganking. So yeah. You have any more questions? We still have like 10 minutes.
No, I don't. I think you covered pretty much everything. So
Okay. Yeah, I hope this was helpful.
A few things that we talked about.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Video? Can I rewatch?
Yeah, you can already watch the VOD on Twitch. It's up right away, and then the video I'll be posting probably next week. I mean, I have a couple of other sessions that I'm also going to be posting, but yeah, as I said, you can already watch on Twitch.
Okay.
So I just want to like think to myself really what I think you should be focusing on. Because of course the Ekko mechanics, they will come a little bit by themselves, you know. But of course that's why you wanted this coaching session, right? To just get a head start on knowing how to play Ekko well, I guess.
Yeah.
But like most of the stuff, I feel like you already did correctly, or like you had the right intentions, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And it's probably because you just started playing Ekko while watching my videos, or like you even started because of that or something, right? Like so. You don't have many bad habits built up, and you understand that, for example, you need to prioritize hitting your return queue and this kind of stuff. So I think I'm always saying, like, mechanics, being better mechanically than your enemies is by far the easiest way to climb in League of Legends, just in general. Like, it just is, you know. You can, there's so many things that you can neutralize, like so many mistakes you can neutralize by simply having better mechanics, that it's definitely worth putting in the time for it. So that's why I'm already telling you about more advanced stuff, like using the auto attack resets and whatever. Because that's definitely something, like, even in master games and whatever, there's so many times where I just catch people off guard because I do a quick combo. So in your gold games or whatever, it's gonna be even easier, you know? If you just... obviously we can't expect that you're like gonna be super clean with the mechanics and whatever after a couple of games, but just knowing what you should be doing is of course hopefully gonna be helpful to you. So yeah, if you don't have any more questions, I guess we can end the session.
All right.
And
Thanks. I appreciate it.
yeah.